Welcome to the Rich Club channel. Before viewing, please like the video, write a comment and subscribe to the channel. Thanks, let's go! Hello friends! In 2011, SpaceX announced that it's going to try to land its Falcon 9 rocket back on Earth, and to complicate this task it was postponed to land on a floating, unnamed ship in the middle of the ocean. Nothing like this had ever been done before at this time. It seems simple, but if it could be done, it could be a huge step for reusable rockets. And so SpaceX began experimenting with test vehicles to learn how to land a rocket after a couple of years, and a lot of failed attempts. SpaceX provided to use the impossible is possible. 5 years after the historic first landing, the Falcon 9 touchdown has become a routine occurrence. Thanks to a large number of launches, SpaceX perfectly worked on this incredible engineering feat and saved a lot of money. Every time the Falcon 9 is relaunched, the company saves on the cost of producing a new first stage. In the past 5 years alone, SpaceX have saved more than $1.4 billion. To this day, SpaceX is the only company that has been able to return, land and reuse the first stage of the launch vehicle. But now the company has focused its effort on the older next generation of crazy space ideas. Those of us who followed the Starship program found some pretty impressive things. The recent test flights was one of the crazy things SpaceX have ever done, but the SpaceX raised the bar. All of these tests proved to be ambitious plans for Starship and much more realistic than many imagined. And also, after all the crazy things that SpaceX have done over the past few years, it seemed that nothing could get any crazier, but the space train could again. Elon Musk casually announced on Twitter a new plan to land the Super Heavy. More precisely, it can be called a landing with a stretch. SpaceX plans to catch the booster in the air while it descends on the launcher. And even though it sounds like another crazy idea by Elon, SpaceX isn't the only company that is considering catching rockets. Rocket plans to catch an Electron rocket using parachutes and a helicopter. Back in the 60s, NASA considered catching the first stage of the giant Saturn V rocket using a helicopter with blades longer than 100 meters. And against this background, the idea of SpaceX sounds a little less crazy. By the way, you know what takes off faster than Musk's rockets? Elon Musk mentions. With such native advertising as his, everything instantly turns into gold. Bitcoin, even CD Projekt Red. To understand why and how SpaceX will catch the Super Heavy booster, we need to understand the purpose of creating Starship. Starship consists of two parts of the booster called Super Heavy, and the second part of the ship called Starship. Super Heavy leaves the second stage through the densest layers of the atmosphere. Starship performs the remaining work of entering orbit after separation. Super Heavy returns to Earth, just like the Falcon 9, the purpose of the senior flight to the Moon and Mars. Or the SpaceX wants to use a fleet of ships to fuel in space. In addition to everything, the SpaceX also plans to use Starship for passenger travel type Earth to Earth. This means the Starship will need to make several flights daily, and per flight preparation of the ship should take no more time than training aircraft. The original plan for a Super Heavy was to land directly on the launcher, so the stage was immediately ready to the next flight, and almost this method has many advantages. It would require a much higher level of accuracy that SpaceX demonstrated within Falcon 9. So SpaceX moved on the idea of landing the Super Heavy on the landing pad and using a huge crane to lift the booster onto the launcher. But this would require at least 6 very large landing supports with sufficient choosing to cope the landing. Elon Musk plans to declare Mars independent of Earth. Earlier, he had already stated that the laws of Earth would not apply on the Red Planet. This was not done during the speech. The relevant provisions are contained in the Starlink user agreement, the satellite, internet network and service. Terraforming Mars, that is, creating there the most similar to the Earth's climate, according to Musk, can take several hundred years. that is a matter of the distant future. The businessman believes that in the past the red planet has a denser atmosphere and water river flows. Musk agrees with those scientists who believe it is possible to return Mars to its former state. Then the planet will be suitable for agriculture without greenhouses and life of at least primitive microorganisms. Today, it is estimated that the cost of sending a human to Mars is $10 billion. Musk believes that $10 million is too expensive and offers a program to reduce the cost of flights to the red planet. He intends to find money for it from private partners and enthusiasts. The state apparently does not help SpaceX in this. NASA also, despite working with SpaceX on the International Space Station program, is treating the project with caution. Musk proposes to create a main ship with a capacity of 200 people. There should be 1,000 of these vehicles in near Martian orbit. In total, about 10,000 flights are planned from Earth to Mars. The trip will take no more than 150 days, and the cost of delivering the payload will be $140,000 per ton. The IT's concept is based on several key technologies: reusability, refueling of ships in orbit, and the use of Martian fuel. The proposed fuel in methane, which can be produced on Mars from water and carbon dioxide. All engineers on the rockets will remain. Chemical ion or nuclear options are not considered. It is planned to put the Raptor engine on the ITS rocket, which is the largest thrust-mass ratio. This unit has recently been tested and 42 engines are provided to the Perspective carrier. The fuel tank of the Raptor are supposed to be made of carbon fiber. It became known that SpaceX does not have the money to independently finance the ITS project. The company earns exclusively on NASA orders and other commercial satellites. However, the situation may change. If currently about 50 people out of 5,000 employees of SpaceX work on ITS, then over time, when the investment of the project will grow to $300 million a year, the businessman hopes to dramatically increase their number. The first Martian ship in SpaceX is going to be called Heart of Gold. The cost of a flight for a week is about $40 million, taking into account the space on the ship and all the costs of rocket production and preparation. 5 years ago, SpaceX brought back its first accelerator. What's possible? All of this pushed the world of spaceflight forward, no matter what. Obviously, we're seeing SpaceX making history. If you like the video, don't forget to like it. See you soon!